Let's see if I've got it going live. I've got some weird thing on the thing on my phone. So let's see if maybe everything looks good. Well, it says I'm live. Let's just see if I'm live. See if we can hear me. Oh, I bet you're not going to be able to hear me. Let's see here. We may have to restart this. Let's see if we have volume. Come on. Come on. Let's see here. If you can hear me, give me a shout out. Say you can hear me. Oh, yay. Rosie says she can hear me. Good evening, friends. This is Tara with Tara Best Stamps. Okay, better turn that volume off. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Mid-Missouri. And tonight, if you're on, give me a shout out. Hey, Gigi. Hey, Rosie. Thanks so much for letting me know you guys can hear me. So this week, all this week, I am creating cards using the Fragrant layer bundle. This is one I've had for a while and I just haven't played with it. Come on down to my boat, baby. I don't know what that is, Rosie. Hey, Karen, thanks for joining. So we're going to use the Fragrant Layers collection. So this is the stamp set. These are the dies. The dies really are the piece de resistance of this set. These are gorgeous dies. I love them all. So I've played with this for a day or two, had a good time. I brought out some paper that's been around for a while and paired it with that, and I came up with a really good card for tonight. So I'm going to set these out of the way and I'm going to bring out today's card. So this fits in a standard size envelope. So this is a pop-up wow card. So this is what it looks like. You pop it up. It's one of those mantle cards that I love so much. Something that you can sip. Hey, Carrie, thanks for joining. So if you've watched my lives before or know me, I love a card that you can set up and display. And this one really takes the cake. So it does fold flat. So this is a standard card base scored in 3 different places. Hey, Mary, thanks for joining. And I paired it with the Secret Sea and Strawberry Slush. I brought in a couple of the new in colors that are about to not be new anymore for today's card. But it came together really well. So, oh, Mary, thank you. That's a big compliment coming from you. I appreciate it. So let's get to tonight's card. So let's see here what we're going to do first. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get the flowers ready. So what I have is I have a piece of basic white. And what I have done with that basic white is I die cut this large piece here that's just a cluster with, I don't know, the flower things. I don't know what that is. I'm not a botanist. I don't know a lot of names. So I die cut this with white. I die cut this single flower a couple of times. I die cut these little flowers to use as the centers, excuse me, out of Darling Duckling. So I'm using a lot of these in colors. And then I paired it with soft sea foam, which I'm going to be honest, I never use soft sea foam and I don't know why. It's so stunning. So first thing I'm going to do is I've got a couple of these that I've die cut and we're going to pull out our Strawberry Slush. And we're going to do some ink blending because I want it to be variegated colors throughout. Now, if you notice, what I do is I kind of start off of the die cut and swoosh in. So this kind of gives you some darker color on the edges, which is what we want. We want those flowers to have dimension and character. So I'm just adding Strawberry Slush with my blending brush. So blending brushes, I have one for every color family. So I have one for reds, one for pinks, one orange, one yellow, green, blue, violet, one for neutrals. And I have them in the large as well as the small. So I don't have one for every color Stampin' Up! Has, but I have one for every color family. And so when you're done, you just kind of roll that ink off, rub it off. You can also wash it with a mild detergent. I've heard people use hand soap. I've heard people use Dawn dishwashing liquid. Just make sure you understand that you need to get all those suds out. So it's going to take quite a bit. You're using very, 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 very little. And then making sure you're just rinsing and rinsing and rinsing. Now, I'm not that kind of person. I just wash mine. I just rub mine off. Okay. So you can see I'm just adding a lot of ink to the edges and then brushing it in. Now, this will be one of the kits that are included if you place that $50 qualifying order at my online store this week. So we've got some really great cards. And then starting March the 3rd, I believe it is. Is it the 3rd? Let me look here. March the 3rd, yes. We're going to have some new online exclusives. So next week, I'm going to be sharing some of those online exclusive products. Okay, so here is our flowers. So what I do is I just kind of just keep rubbing it on my grid paper until a lot of the ink is gone. And you can see most of it's gone. Now, if I happen to use a lighter pink next time, what I'm probably going to do is rub it on my grid paper before I even start to make sure that I don't have any residual. You just use cool water with yours, Karen. If I do rinse mine, that's what I do. Okay, so here's my flowers. And now I have this great banner die. Like, who knew this banner die was in here? And it's a great size, and it's stitched on the side. So it's all of the things that I love. So I'm going to take some Secret Sea, and I'm going to stamp hello. So this is going to be a fun all occasion card. And so what I'm going to do is, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I've got it lined up. Here's my major line here in the middle. So I'm going to do my best to center this right there. So if you don't have Stampin' Up! Grid paper, how are you even stamping? Because I need grid paper to make things as even as possible. Now, I have a small piece of basic white. So this is 2 by 5 1/4, I believe. Let me look. Yeah, that's 2 by 5 1/4. And so these are just put right here on the side. So we're going to go ahead and stamp that while we're doing this, while we've got the ink out. Okay, I'm going to use my grid paper here. And so there, I stamped just a note. And here we go with the Strawberry Slush. I'm going to ink that flower up and stamp it in the corner. And now I'm going to use, so that's the outline of the flower. Now I'm going to stamp off one time. Did I line that up perfect on the first try? I think I did. Woo. Nice. I'm going to have to pat myself on the back for that one. That never happens. So this is what we call two-step stamping. So you've got your solid that I'm gonna stamp this off just a little bit. And I'm gonna do that in my center. And then on this side, I've got the dots that we're gonna stamp with the Secret Sea in the first generation. So that's all the stamping work. Oh, you know what? Let's do our envelope. You know what I didn't do? Let's pull this guy out here. Let's make him look really pretty. All right. I want this big guy right here. turn this around and see. Yeah, I feel like that's about what I want to do for my envelope. Strawberry Slush and Secret Sea are perfect together. I agree, Mary. They are... I don't know where I was with Strawberry Slush for the last year. I'll be honest, I didn't start really using it until February, and I don't know if I can create without it. And as many cards as I've made with Secret Sea and have not used Strawberry Slush, I don't know what I was doing. I was late to the game, that's for sure. Okay, so now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty on how to create this card. So I have a piece of 5.5 by 8.5. So this is a standard card base of Secret Sea. I have scored it at our normal 4 1/4, but I also did 1 1/8 on each side. So this is, or not 1 1/8, 2 1/8. Sorry, 2 1/8. So this is 2 1/8, 4 1/4, 6 3/8. Okay, so I'm going to fold my card base like I would any normal card. And now I'm going to open it up, and I am going to fold at one side. I'm going to fold it in. I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to fold it in again. So this is what kind of gives us that W look, right? You with me so far? So there's my little W. Okay, now I have, so this is 1 1/4 by 7 7/8. And I got to look at my notebook here. Yes, so I'm scored at 2, at 3, at 4 7/8, and 5 7/8. Or 2 and 3, flip it over, 2 and 3. Exactly the same. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold at the second score line on each one and make sure it's nice and even, and we're going to burnish. Okay. And now we're going to fold, I opened it up, and we're going to fold in again at the middle 2 score lines. So we're not doing Mountain Valley, we're folding in each time. So it's like valley and valley. Okay, so this is what gives you your mechanism. So this lays flat. It does overlap just a teeny bit, but that's okay. What you want to make sure is that when you adhere it to the card base, that you're not all the way butted up to the score line, because that means that you can't, it's going to bend and be gross. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use tear tape here. And the reason I'm using tear tape is I like tear tape with fun folds. It gives just, oh no. Oh no, 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 no. I'm out of tear tape. Let me see if I've got it. Well, now we're just going to have to use seal because I'm out of tear tape. It would be really awesome if I had tear tape, but I don't have an extra in my drawer. It could take me hours to find more. So we'll use just a lot of seal then. So I'm going to peel this up. And so I'm only putting seal on this outside component here. So now for my W, so I've got a mountain and a valley and a mountain. Yep. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put this as close to the center as I can. And I am going to butt that score line or folded portion. I'm going to butt it all the way to the edge. And then I'm going to burnish it down. Make sure it's stuck good. Okay. All right, with that open like that, I'm going to add my seal to this. Oops. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to butt this all the way to the side so that it's nice and flat. So, and now I'm going to seal that down. So that is the wow pop-up mechanism. So what you could do, Karen, Kay, and I had a fun fold class today, and one of the things I showed people that I like to do is make just like a template. So like if I did this, I would do this with a neutral color, and I would have the dimensions 5.5, 8.5. I would put the score lines on, and then this, and that way you can kind of pull it out for reference. Makes it super easy to do. So now's the interesting part. So I'm going to set that back, and I have Floral in Bloom Designer Series paper here. So these are 5 1/4 by 1 7/8, and I'm going to add those to some soft seafoam mats. And I don't know where I've been, but the soft seafoam and the Secret Sea look phenomenal together. So yeah, you've got that Strawberry Slush with Secret Sea. It's awesome. Okay, while I'm doing this, let's think about Laura. Thanks so much. No worries. Glad you could join us. So what's going on in the Stampin' Up! World this week? So you have one more week, count it, 1 week to redeem your bonus day coupons. Well, hey, Luna. Puppy came in to see me. Now Tim's going to hear me talking. He's going to be like, ugh, she's talking to herself. So you have 1 week to use those bonus day coupons. You have 1 week left to join Stampin' Up! And take advantage of that awesome Stampin' Positioner. So $125 worth of stuff. That includes some of the March online exclusives that won't be available till March the 3rd. You can grab some of those in your starter kit. You get an awesome team full of inspiration that is second to none. And then you get a 20% discount, at least a 20% discount for as long as you stay active. So it's a win-win-win. So if that's something that interests you, reach out. We'll chat. We'll see if it's going to be something that can work for you. Okay, so now I have all of these matted. And what I'm going to do is I am going to put the Secret Sea on the outside, because when I fold it, that's what I want everybody to see. When it's open, I kind of wanted that Strawberry Slush. So we're going to add these to the side. You would, also as a demonstrator, even if you're just a hobby demonstrator, you get to see the new catalog that'll be available in May. You'll know all the new news. New news. I don't know where that's from. But you'll know the new news. Oh, it's from New Heights. That's what it's from. That podcast with the Kelsey boys. That's where that came from. New news. I hear it on Facebook all the time. Okay, so I'm kind of sealing that down with Seal. You can always use liquid adhesive if that's your adhesive of choice. It is not mine, so I'm going to use my Seal. Okay, now we're going to cover up that mechanism and where it adhered to. So I'm sliding it right in, giving it a nice little burnish. And then we're going to slide in the second one. So you do have to have almost 2 hands or 3 hands for this. We're going to slide this in, making sure that we have that nice little 1/8 of an inch. And you can always use your bone folder to kind of help get underneath there. So here is that pop-up card. And now we're going to put it together. Let's bring out my arches. So I started out yesterday, and I did this on the 6th largest die from the Everyday Arches. So when I do that, I always tell you which one I've used. So you just count in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the one I used right here. So I used the 6th largest, and I really liked it, but yet I didn't think it was a large enough focal point. Ooh, Mary, I can't wait to see what you create. Yay, I'm glad you like it. So I went ahead and layered it with another one, and I love the look on the tone on tone. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate that. Everybody's liking tonight's card. I'm loving the love. Okay, so here's my flowers, and you don't really have to worry about it hanging off. I kind of like that look, but it's not big enough that it's going to interfere with your sides, and it's not going to interfere with your fold. Like sometimes when you're like with a joy fold, you have to be careful and not let it hang off because it's going to bend when they open it up. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff with this one. So let's bring out this nasty liquid adhesive. I am Team Seal. All right. So we're going to add that on there. And I'm making sure that I have it just on these flowers. I want these ends to kind of curl up. So I'm kind of bending that just a little bit because I want to give that some dimension. Now I'm bringing out some Stampin Dimensionals to add to our flowers on here. So we're going to pop this guy up, and we're going to pop this guy up. And I'm hoping I can find my tweezers here. Oh, you know what? Nope, they're not there. Here they are. Whew. That was a close one, guys. All right, so I'm going to take this flower, and we're going to put that one about right there. Okay, and I'm going to put my sentiment right here. So maybe we'll tuck this one. I got another one. We're going to tuck this one right there. And that one may be, here we go. This is a white one. Oh, that one was white too. Okay. So yesterday I did the ink blending when I was making these on the sheet before I die cut them. I like it better like this because you can tell there's more variegation. All right, there's that. And then let's see here. Maybe right there. No, oops. I'm going to pull that one up a little bit. We'll put that one right there. All right. So now I have all my little die cuts you can see here. So here's my soft seafoam flat leaves. These detailed leaves are gorgeous. Let's see here. There's a couple of those. I got lots of leaves. I wanted to make sure I was covered well with those. Then I have all of these. I could go ahead and use some of these strawberry slush innards for the inside. So let's, oops, that's not a whole one. That's a half one. Put that one back. So the cool thing about making all these cards the same all week is I can leave all of my extras here in my little kit. And then I have them. Now another thing I do sometimes is I go ahead and put them like in a little Ziploc bag and put them in my stamp set. That way I have them if I need them. Because sometimes you just need one thing. Die cut. Okay, now I realize this adhesive is still, like from the dimensional, it's still there. But I don't feel like it works really great when it's on another layer. So I am adding a little bit of liquid glue. So, and then it seeps out and is all gross and nasty. I think we're going to do Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and leave all of them yellow on the inside. We'll just let them be matchy-matchy. There's that one. Oops, see what I mean? Come on. So I'm just using my tweezers to kind of get that to adhere. Then we've got one last one we're going to tuck under right there. Tuck that right there. All right. Now, nope. Let's see where I want him. We'll put him right about, maybe I don't like that one. There we go. I definitely want that little guy there. I'm gonna put one about right there. And then maybe one of these. Let's see here. There we go. And sometimes you just have to work it and play with it. Realize that they're always different, and that's okay. That's what you want. So, okay, I like this arrangement. So now I'm going to pull one out. My kind of, man, Mary, you are giving me all the feel goods. Such awesome compliments. Thank you. From the master herself. So you just kind of got to work it until you find what you love. And don't feel bad if you put it together and hate it and have to start over. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. It's like I say all the time, leave your perfection at the door. This card making is not about perfection. It's about loving what you do and sharing what you love. Okay. And then we're going to do this one last big leaf. And I'm going to pick him up and wedge him under there. Actually, I'm going to nip that right there. Then we're going to add more glue. All right. There we go. And I like when your die cuts like stick up. That's my jam. Giving it all that extra dimension. Okay. Now, I'm going to flip this over, and I am going to bring out black dimensionals because I don't want anyone to see those nasty white dimensionals when they open the card. So these black are going to kind of be incognito. So we're going to pull those backings off. I'm going to flip this over. And I'm going to try to find it. I'm going to try to center this up as well as I can. Oops, I'm already not liking that. All right. My head's probably in the camera, I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now I'm happy. Whew. Okay, now our last bit is we've got to add our sentiment. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one of the white dimensionals because that's going on white paper. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of liquid adhesive up in the top corner because I think it's going to layer right there. Maybe I'll do a half dimensional too. Look at me, guys, breaking that cycle and using a half. So if you're not familiar, our team is very half dimensional, full dimensional divided. In all actualities, I may be the only full dimensional person. But we'll say that there's half of us that enjoy them. So I pulled the backings off here. And there we go. Oops. There we are. So this is a layering card, that's for sure. Okay, now we're going to do what I hate to do. And I'm going to add some liquid adhesive right here. So this is kind of the difficult part. You can't really put your card front on there before you add the mechanisms, but it doesn't really lay flat when you're trying to get it put together. So I'm using liquid adhesive, which I really don't like, and I'm just kind of holding it there. No, Karen, I will not come over to the dark side. Whole dimensionals rule. Now, I didn't put my backs on. So what side is? I gotta look. Okay, so the basic white goes on the right side. So I'm gonna put that right there. And there should be another stamped piece. Here we are. Just a note. Make sure I've got it right side up. Yep. We'll put that one on there. I'm gonna seal it down a little bit. And there's our card. No, Mary, liquid adhesive is not the best. All right, so we are going to finish up our envelope with a piece of designer series paper, and we're just going to review what I said this week. This is your last week to redeem any bonus day coupons you earned in January. Don't let that money go to waste. Even if you're just adding cardstock and adhesive, if there's nothing that you see that you want that's new, that's fine. But get your basics. Don't let that money go to waste. This is the last week for the joining offer to get that free Stampin Dimension or Positioner, an awesome tool to add to your collection. This week, all week long, come back to my blog, come back to my Facebook. You'll see different cards using this Fragrant layers. There's going to be some really great ones. I hope this was a great start. And remember, if you place that $50 purchase at my online store, you get those classes for free. Oh, and here's how you fold it. I didn't show you that part. So it just flips, connects, and then goes right in your envelope. You guys have an amazing week. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back on Facebook Friday night live with all of those card tutorials from using the Fragrant layers. And then I'll be back here next Sunday night for another live card tutorial. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm part of your weekend. Have an amazing week.